Good morning, good evening, or good night to the lovely people watching. And in today's video, unhinged here by the way, and in today's video we'll be speaking about you. If I asked you a simple question, what are your hobbies? Playing video games, walking in nature, going to the gym, that sort of thing. Cool, it's good for you. If you asked me that question, I would have given you nearly 5 answers out of the bucket. Just straight out of there. Because I got different types of hobbies, to be fair honest with you. First up is art. And I've been doing this stuff since I was a child. I've always been fascinated just taking a pen and piece of paper and just going to town. And the second thing is collecting Lego Star Wars. Watching the Star Wars universe has always been something that I've always been a fan of, like a TV show that I love, and the Star Wars community is such huge. And then you got the third hobby that I have. I collect Warhammer minifigures, like those small mechs, like a Warlord Titan or Legionnaire Empress or whatever it is. I'm not a nerd in the subject itself or around Warhammer community. To be fairly honest, I just like to collect those mechs because they look cool. Paint them and then just put them in an acrylic display and just have them to show off because, well, why not? I like the creativity of just putting on those glasses and being very, very mindful of detail. Yeah, my posture is going to be very shit because I'm paying attention to detail, but it's just a sense of relief. Just no one's telling me what to do. No one is saying, you need to study for this test. You need to do this. You need to do that. At the age of 22, I'm valuing my freedom. Of course, I got responsibilities that, okay, I gotta go to work in order to pay the bills, in order to live in this world. But those days that I am off, those days that I got spare time and stuff like that, I'm grateful for. I can spend a couple of hours creating some art pieces, take responsibility. Okay, I need to do the dishes. Okay, I need to clean up the mess in my apartment. I need to vacuum clean. But that's on me. What you need to understand is you need to stop living like everyone else. I'm not going to try to sit here and motivate you to do this, and this, and follow up on a structural plan. I'm just saying that this life has been given to you for a specific reason. And what reason, I cannot answer because I'm not a god. What you need to understand is every single day an opportunity presented to you. You can do something a little different. You can change the outcome of every single day. You can change your future, but you need to change yourself. What I'm saying with that is that instead of sitting on your phone, doom scrolling on TikTok, and not doing anything, because content consumption has been a thing that has just become on our daily life. Just, oh, I want a Lamborghini. You can say that you want a Lamborghini, but I've never seen one person that I know of follow through that saying, I want a Lamborghini, and then showing up one day in a Lamborghini. Of course, I've seen social media influencers pull up in a Lamborghini on their screen after 2 years of saying that they're going to do it, and that's good for them, but I'm thinking solely of you. Now, if you don't want a Lamborghini, then just don't go for a Lamborghini. If you want a car that suits your lifestyle, good, go for it. If you want to live in an apartment that suits you, good for you. If you want to live minimalistic, good, do it for you. You gotta stop doing what everyone else around tells you. And I'm not saying that I'm not gonna do what my teacher tells me, I'm not gonna do what my boss tells me, I'm not gonna do what my mom tells me. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying when you're at school, you need to pay attention for 8 hours. When you're at work, you gotta do the things that you're paid to do there for. When my mom says, do this, I'm going to be a pain in the ass and not do it sometimes. But that's me. But you need to understand, again, that this life is yours to shape, yours to create. You've been given dreams and hopes plenty of times, and sometimes it ended up in the garbage. You need to stick to something that you really like and polish it like a diamond, like honing. Like, you imagine going many hundred years back. Let's say you're a samurai, right? what would be your sole purpose? It would be to be a samurai, to train, to hone your skills, to sharpen your blade every single day. That's discipline. Discipline is like waking up to that point you need to do. Motivation is like a treat. Unmotivated is just your brain dopamine receptors just being fucking fried. There are days where I don't want to make a YouTube video. And I need to force myself to make these YouTube videos. And sometimes I'm not motivated. Sometimes I just have to be disciplined. But I'm doing YouTube because it makes me, in a sense, kind of feel whole. Because I feel like I'm helping people by watching my content, by creating this sort of thing. The main reason I started my YouTube channel is because I had a fear of public speaking and speaking in front of a camera. Because 4 or 5 years ago, I was a wimp, a bitch, a dude that barely raised his hand in class and just did everything to just get by. I was so preoccupied with playing video games and being consumed and playing it until 2 a.m. that I forgot there is a world out there that I can do a lot of stuff in. For example, after this YouTube video, I'm going to the gym. And I'm excited because going to the gym has become this habit where just like, fuck yeah, today I am motivated. Yesterday I wasn't, still went. But you need to create like a sort of system that works for you. I understand it's sometimes hard. Like, for example, some people have traditional parents and very strict parents where they said, you're supposed to go to school, you're supposed to get this job, you're supposed to do this, you're supposed to do this, and you're supposed to do this. But you're more of this, okay, I want to follow this path. When you get to a certain age, like legally 18, you can do whatever the hell you want because you're now legally an adult. You need to understand as early as possible, if you're 40s watching me speaking about this, understand this. I understand you have responsibilities, but you also need to understand that you have your own life that you need to fulfill. Imagine if imagine if I lived like imagine if I lived according to what everyone else told me. My mom, example, told me to go to school. Okay, cool, I go to school. I get a job and stuff like that. Cool, I'm following my mom, like, kind of said I should do. Cool. And then some of my friends say, oh, you should start drop shipping because I made a lot of money from that. You start drop shipping as your side hustle. Cool, you're starting to make a good, decent amount of income and money. Cool, good, you're making money. But the thing that you're feeling, the thing that is wrong with this is that you're being controlled, in a sense, if it makes sense, right? That you went to school because your mom told you to. You got that job and promotion because your friends said you should. You started up dropshipping or a side hustle because your best friend told you to do it. But what about what you want? If you want to be an artist, fuck it, go for it. Then make it your life's mission to chase your dreams. If I end up becoming 67 years old and I lived according to what everyone else told me to, I would have looked back and I would have think, fuck, I wasted everything. I got a house, I got a mortgage, I got debt, I got a lovely wife and lovely kids, cannot deny that. But what about my dreams? I didn't take the skydiving lessons as I was set to do so many years back. And for example, right here, right now, I ain't got my license or I don't have a car. I already know I want my license and I already know what kind of car I want. Have I done anything about it? No. Why? Laziness, as an example. But that responsibility falls back upon me. That's just unmotivated. I actually need to kind of take myself by the neck and actually say to myself, you know what, we need to get our license. You got a year to get your fucking license, save up to a goddamn car that you want, and get it. Because I shouldn't be like, I'm just going to postpone. It would be the same thing if I postponed homework or studying for a test, and then that specific day of the test comes, and I'm not prepared for shit because I've been wasting my time doing something else that isn't aligned with this goal. You remember your classmates, right? There's always been this one girl or one dude that's fucking smart, and everyone else would be like, oh, that dude fucking sucks. This dude literally kisses the teacher's feet in order to get good grades. No, this person was just solely fucking dedicated to do well in school because it was maybe either that they wanted to or their parents told them to, but they had this driven discipline that they studied for the test, they followed the structure, they followed the plans, and they got a good grade because they deserved it, because they put in the hard work and the hard effort. But that's something they did. When I went to middle school, junior high, high school, and a year's course on something I didn't even fucking need because someone else told me to, I did the exact same thing I've always done. Do the bare minimum. I had a GPA of 3.5 if I'm not mistaken, and I'm fucking proud of that, to be fairly honest. I didn't fail that class. I'm grateful for that, because later on in life I don't have to retake those classes because I need to follow an education. My dreams, one of my dreams requires a form of education, but right here, right now, it's not part of my plan because I'm doing X and Y at the moment because I need to follow the structured plan. I've already made a plan for myself for the next decade in detail, but that's something that I did. I'd highly recommend doing the same thing. Plan like a day in advance or even a week in advance, but if something pops up, okay, be ready and able to adapt to changes. Like, oh, okay, I'm going to get up at 7 o'clock every single morning. Shit, I got up at 7:30. Don't take yourself for that you woke up 30 minutes late. Just accept it and just continue on with your day. Because if you continue to have this perspective like, oh man, I slept in. Everyone does it. Like, I have no idea how many times on this self-improvement journey that I've slept in, I pressed snooze, or I just literally because I was too tired from the day prior because I did something stupid, but that falls upon me. Back to the main point. You gotta do the stuff that makes you feel whole. A productive day for me would be going to the gym, meal prepping, making a YouTube video, creating some art, going to work. And at the end of the day, if I pushed hard enough and I was like, yeah, I did pretty well, I would go to sleep much faster because I feel like I did something that makes me feel happy. It is you versus you. Fuck everyone else, but see guidance when you need it. Take care, boys.